Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to this report, I said to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have your right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome back. Now this is another segment where we get to talk at a day very significant to the Muslim faithful. And literally speaking, Hijrah indicates moving from one place to another to live there. Now to take it symbolically, Hijrah denotes shunning bad habits, traditions and so on, or abandoning a certain culture to adopt another. And in the Muslim calendar, it's actually a beginning of a new era where things should be done the right way. And discussing this day as Muslim faithfuls celebrate Hijrah, it's important that we get to know more about this time and, of course, what this period is and what should be done at this time. And still talking this particular subject with me is Jason Karim, who actually looked at the first segment with me. And now to you now, back to Jason Karim. Now, what makes Hijrah special?
Hijrah signifies the movement of the Holy Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina. In the formative years of Prophet Muhammad's message, he faced a lot of challenges from his Quraysh people. His followers were beaten, vindicated, oppressed, and then at a particular stage they planned to kill the prophet. So he had to escape from Mecca to Medina, and before then most of his followers had moved to Medina. So Hijrah is a movement, is like a journey from what is bad to what is good, from adversity to advantage. It is, and more. It's also more of a spiritual movement than more of the physical movements. However, in the Islamic calendar, Hijrah also signifies the beginning of the new year. And the Gregorian calendar has 365 or 366 days, but the lunar calendar and the Gregorian calendar makes use of the sun. The lunar calendar, the Islamic calendar, makes use of the moon as a reference point, and that is 354.43 days. Do you understand? So, which is like 12 days less than the Gregorian calendar. So today is the first day of Muharram, 1437, and it signifies that is the year where the Prophet had made that journey from Mecca to Medina, and it symbolizes a new dawn in the world faith, because during the times of Prophet Muhammad, the Arabian Peninsula was in moral decadence of the highest order. But out of that frustration, the Prophet Muhammad was able to bring light to the darkness, and with effort, persistence, patience, and kindness, he was able to touch lives, touch hearts, and this movement had now become a worldwide phenomenon. Today we have over 1 billion Muslims all over the world, and it started from that journey from Mecca to Medina, where the life of Prophet was threatened.
Okay. Now, what should be the aspirations of Nigerian Muslims now, especially our political leaders, in this new year?
I think it's a transition. It is a transformational change. That life is short, and then whether we like it or not, our life has an end. But what matters most at the end of life is not the money in our bank account, but the impact in our life's account. And people can change from bad to good, good to better, and better to best. So this period is a period of reflection that they can change, that they can make a difference, that they can impact life, and that they can add value to the life of ordinary Nigerians. And if our leaders are thinking in that way, that life is ephemeral, that life itself is a journey. So funny that we can easily recollect what happens to us 20 years, important event within a second. And if you are a person that normally use imagination to picture the future, then you also know very well that you can picture within seconds where you want to be in the next 20 years. That is how small life is. And when you are talking of religion aspect, when we think deep, we know that this life is just like a sport. Before we know it, it has an end. But we can leave a legacy. We can impact lives. It can make a difference. But it starts with a decision to change for better. And I think that is the significance of.
Now, speaking of the significance of Hijrah now, it's going from bad to good. Just yesterday, 2 banks were robbed by 40 robbers, and from the information we got, the young people who were involved in this criminal act. I would like you to comment on what they did, and of course linking it to the newness that comes with Hijrah.
I think young people do not have any excuse for engaging in illegality, in crime, or in bad things. You don't have any excuse, regardless of how tough your life is, to do some certain things, especially harm the people. And I believe that our armed forces will work assiduously to bring this set of people into justice. Having said that, I will implore people to realize that what matters most in life is fulfillment. And we don't need big houses, big cars to have fulfillment. And the good news is that if we can start small, we can work hard, then we can gradually become somebody in life. And there are so many people that have started from the scratch, and with hard work, determination, and perseverance, they carved a niche for themselves, and they were able to become a success story. So I think it is a bad act, and our armed forces should work assiduously to make sure that they are brought to justice, and our young people should also find means. I tell people that if you are unemployed and you are looking for a job, then why can't you find somewhere you want to volunteer and start working? At least you are surviving presently, despite not having a job. Have a company that you can learn, you can go, you can become, and say, I want to work for you for free for 6 months, and see whether when you start contributing positively, they will not accept you. So, and if you don't have that, if you want to be an entrepreneur, think too. Do you understand? If you have, people will say, I don't have resources. It is a lie. I don't have the money, the time, the experience, the connection. But what you need is resourcefulness. If you have integrity, discipline, kindness, and all other things that are intangible, then you get the resources you want in life.
So I'd like you to comment on the current war against the insurgents, and of course with the Chibok girls who are in captivity. And it's quite significant because even when the insurgents struck, they came on the platform of interconnection to the Muslim tenant. But of course we've had Muslim clerics discounting and such that is really not the case in Islam. So I want you to...
I think the simple definition of Islam is peace. Peace with yourself, peace with your neighbors, and peace with the world. And there is nowhere in the Quran that God says that you kill people. You understand? For you to become righteous. And then when we look at the principles in the Quran and in the Hadith, then we know that Boko Haram is not an Islamic organization. And when you look at, and let's be pragmatic and be sincere, these people who attacked Muslim clerics, they destroy mosque. So they don't care whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, young or old. They are senseless people. they don't have the fear of God. Do you understand? So I think that we've settled the idea that this is something that has to do with Islam, or no, Islam is far better than that. And when people have personal interests, they tend to use religion, because one of the powerful tools in the world is religion. And when you look at history, Adolf Hitler, the Nazi movement, they use religion, and they killed a lot of people in Europe, especially the Jews. Do you understand? And that is what people do, because religion is one of the most important things in life of a man. Having said that, I think, sincerely speaking, we need to give kudos to our armed forces. They are doing wonderful work. And if we want to be sincere too, we agree that in the past few months, when our new president stepped in, things are getting better. Things are getting better. The morale is high, the performance is high, and the only thing I can say is the best is yet to come. And if we can continue with this, and if we can support them, if we can all condemn this act as one people with unity of purpose, then Boko Haram will be a thing of the past. And hopefully our Chibok girls will be back with us. It has been a long time, and in any Zen environment, this should not have happened in the first place, nor take such a long time. But we are where we are now, and it is our duty not to start complaining about the problem. It is our duty to provide solution, act on it, and make a difference and get results.
Oh, all right. Now, if Hijrah comes with a level of newness, of course, going from bad to new, I want you to talk about the sustenance of this newness. What does the lesson of Hijrah have to say about people who would start up to be good, and in days they go back to where they were before? So what's really...
I think two things determine that. The first is our association determines our position in life. If you work with wolves, you will learn how to hoe. But if you work with eagles, you will learn how to soar to greater heights. So one thing I always tell young people, you must be careful about your inner circle. The people that you share your thoughts with, you spend your time with, because whether you like it or not, they have an influence on you. So when people are committed to change, I think they need the right environment for that to happen.
No, practically speaking, now let's look at the Nigerian environment.
Okay.
And of course, with the new mantra of the current administration saying it's zero tolerance to corruption and all the ills that used to occur. Now, with fight against corruption, you know, some people would really say that's impossible to clear out corruption because of the Nigerian environment. Now, what's your take on the fact that people say that the Nigerian environment would not readily present itself, that people would just have to be corrupt because that's what the environment dictates?
I think the last election clearly revealed to us that all things are possible in this country. I have so many doubting Thomases that told me that it's not possible for an opposition to take power in this country. If that can happen, then corruption can also be minimized, because everywhere in the world there is no perfect society. But how can we stop that? We must make sure that punishment for corruption is straight and it is adhered to, and the reward for excellence is well known and it is applied. In other words, when people know that if I steal money, they are going to hang me or send me to jail for the rest of my life, they will not. But when people know that if I steal in lots much, I can be able to hire the best lawyers, I can be able to find my reason, I can be able to, do you understand? But if the punishments are well known and well applied, you will see that Nigerians care about their family, so they will not do such things. And if we were too, because there must be a balance, the punishment must be stated and well known and applied, the reward must be stated and well known and applied. If people can do well and they can be rewarded accordingly, then people will tend to do the right things and get the right result. If I know that if I do the right thing, I can become prosperous and one day I can become somebody in life, I would rather follow the steps and then achieve my objective. So I think this period is a period of reflection for the Muslims faithful, as well as for everybody in the world, to see that what can I change about my life? Because L.G. said that the only unpardonable sin in life is stagnation or standing still. So as human beings, we must keep thinking, how can I become better in my finances, in my mental capacity, in my attitude, in my spirituality, and in all other facets of life. And when we are conscious about that, then we tend to become better. And that is the essence of life.
Okay. So what, aside from change, aside from coming from bad to good, what are other significant lessons for the nation and individuals, of course, especially the leaders, to take at this time?
I think the essence of Hijrah also has a lot to do with leadership, because Prophet Muhammad was a leader by excellence, and he has a bright vision of a better world for the people. And at the beginning, it was quite tough. It was quite tough because his people did not even believe in him as their prophet. And they tried everything within their power to quench that passion in him to make a difference. Yeah, but because he had character, competence, and he knew where he was going to, so he was able to communicate that vision to his people. Today too, we are in a conundrum in this nation. Our infrastructures are in shambles, our education is in comatose, our people are suffering in the midst of abundance. But we can turn the table around. We can have unity of purpose. We have a new leadership with new values that an average Nigerian appreciates. So we need to march forward with unity of purpose, with sense of commitment. And as individuals, the change we are talking about begins with me. It begins with you. It begins with all of us. And I think that is the most important message, that change is here, but it starts with me, with my immediate family.
Okay. Now, as a round-off, you mentioned something about Prophet Muhammad being a leader par excellence. And you also rightly stated that when he started, even those that were expected to follow him did not so much believe in him. And we also see a little of the population in Nigeria, of course, a sizable amount, one can say, who earlier did not believe in the current administration and still do not, even while others are beginning to see some reasons why they should believe. Now, what is that quality, what is that thing that stood Prophet Muhammad out, that helped him succeed as a leader, that you could advise the current leader could exhibit to make a better Nigeria, or to lead appropriately like he would?
I think it is to see that stood Prophet Muhammad out, and character and compassion. Yes, he cared a lot about the people, and he led by example. So, if our leadership, I mean, we are talking of leadership, it goes beyond the president. We have leadership in the local level, and they are quite near to the people. If they can show some compassion, kindness, and righteousness to their people, they will do the right thing. They will help the people in need. They will not squander our money. They will do the right thing for the right purpose at the right time. And if they have the character, if I know that my leader will resume at office 8 a.m. on a daily basis, I will never come late, because people do what they see. And the core of development is the grassroots. If each local government, the 774 local government in Nigeria, can get it right, then we can have better states, we can have better nation. So I think character and compassion are keys to a better Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Any final words from you?
Yeah, my final word is a leader knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. And each and every one of us is a leader in our own right. So we must lead by example. We must know the way, go the way, and show the way for everybody, and be a worthy ambassador of this country. Nigeria will be great, and it starts with all of us.
All right, thank you so very much, Hassan Karim, for that
Thank you for having me.
lesson on Hijrah. And to Muslim faithful, it's a happy new year as Hijrah is celebrated worldwide across the world. We want to call it a day on the program. Thank you so very much for being a part. My name is Omotayo Alo. Have a lovely rest of the day.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.